What Abadjiev said to Donny was that when a rabbit runs from a wolf, and he runs for his life, he doesn't think, I'm going to run half speed today, or I might run 75% speed. Next day I might run all out.
Yeah.
No. He's running to survive.
Yeah.
He's running his ass off every single time the wolf scares him up.
Yeah. Because if he doesn't, he dies.
Yeah, if he doesn't, he dies, he gets eaten.
Yeah.
And so that's a Bulgarian system.
Hi guys, so I want to mention one more time, the weightlifting house bars, the house barbell, they are now in production, and so if you live in the USA or Europe, and that does include the UK, then these are going to be available for purchase by the end of April, maybe as late as early May, depending on a few things. So, in terms of pricing, if you live in Europe, you're looking at about £369 for a male bar, which is going to be about $339 for a female bar. In the USA, that translates to $469 for a male bar and $439 for a female bar. As I've said before, these barbells are 5 needle bearings per sleeve, the best you can get, IWF markings, and 210,000 PSI steel, which is the highest quality of steel that you can basically find anywhere in the world. I'm very excited to have these bars out. They're coming out soon, as I mentioned, so if you are interested, then drop me a message anywhere. Probably the easiest would be either on Instagram or email me, contact@weightliftinghouse.com. Hi guys, welcome to the show. My name is Seb Ostrovich, aka the Voice of the People, and this is the Weightlifting House podcast. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Weightlifting House podcast with your host Seb Ostrovich, the Voice of the People, joined of course by the People's Coach, the one and only Glenn Pendlay. Glenn, how are you doing over there in Kansas?
I do it good.
Yeah?
Very good. It's very windy here.
I
mean, it's extremely windy.
Yeah.
It's like my screen door's been slamming again and again.
Yeah.
It's like it's going to take half the house off.
Well, I suppose that's why, because I didn't realize until I left Kansas this last time that I was there, that that's where the Wizard of Oz was set. And yes. I guess there is a tornado in the Wizard of Oz, so maybe that's where that's from.
Well, Kansas is always windy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's famous for that. It's always windy. You know, even windier than Oklahoma or Texas or anywhere else I've ever lived.
Don't they call Chicago the Windy City? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, but that's complete bullshit.
Oh.
Chicago's not that windy.
No.
It's not that windy.
Yeah.
I think they call it that, of course, but it's complete bullshit. Kansas is by far windier than Chicago.
Yeah. That's interesting. You know, you were just saying before we spoke that you'd been on the phone to Donny Shankle for a long while, and I was telling you that I'd mentioned to listeners that I wanted to get some good guests on the show, and so many people have said get Donny on the show, and I've told them we've tried, I've tried, you've tried. But Donny is not one to go on podcasts, but you did have an interesting conversation with him about Bulgarian training, about maxing out and all that kind of stuff. So what exactly did you and Donny kind of get on talking about over this last hour?
Gosh, we talked for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, I don't know. But the one thing that we were talking about is I had looked at a couple of websites years ago. I got to think about a website that I looked at years ago, talking about training, and had some interesting observations on it. Mentioned that to Donny, and thought I had kind of a unique take on it. He does have a unique take on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Donny's very intellectual. I think a lot of people that know Donny realize that, but he's a very intellectual, smart guy.
Yeah.
But so everyone wants to talk about what the Bulgarian program is, and most of them are completely wrong. You know, most people are completely wrong. Have a very warped view of what Bulgarian training is.
Yeah.
I've always thought that the Bulgarian system is training with Ivan Abadjiev.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
If you're not training with Abadjiev, it's not Bulgarian training. He's the one that made that system. He's the one that made it famous. He's the one that made it work.
Yeah.
And I mentioned Donny that I had seen this website years ago that basically said that if I could remember the URL of the website, I would. It's probably down by now. This is like another year. She said, people today want to pick and choose what they do off the Bulgarian system. I'm as guilty of that as anyone. I do that, But the guy that made that website said, if you're going to train Bulgarian, you have to do everything Bulgarians did. You can't pick and choose.
Yeah.
You can't say, I'm going to do the lifts, but I'm not going to do squatting.
Yeah.
Or say, I'm going to do squatting, but I'm not going to do my snatch every day. If you don't do the whole program and then want to say it doesn't work, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You never tried it.
Well, the difference is, I mean, you may have said that, you've pick and choose bits from the Bulgarian program, but you never then called what you were doing the Bulgarian program. And you didn't just remove things. You probably, I mean, I'm speaking for you here, I imagine you removed things and added things in to create your own system. It wasn't like you decided, we're not going to do this part of the Bulgarian system, but we're still calling it the Bulgarian system.
No, what I did was I tried to make the Bulgarian system into something that could be used by people that are less than perfect genetically.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that your perfect lifter, Kevin Cornell, who's as perfect a lifter as I've ever seen, had every advantage you could probably have for weightlifting.
Yeah.
He's kind of my prototype. When I think of the perfect lifter, I think of Kevin Cornell.
Yeah.
He's amazing, But I tried to make a program that people that aren't Kevin Cornell can still do and do the best that they can on that system.
Yeah.
And people that have certain weaknesses, I think, probably need to do things a little differently sometimes. Like John North has with the jerk.
Yeah.
Great guy, great lifter. He can't freaking jerk.
Yeah. Yeah, if he could have jerked, he would have been, I mean, he could have done substantially more. Yeah.
He would have.
Yeah.
That's why I say Kevin. Kevin is basically John with a great jerk.
Yeah.
Probably not quite as good as John in some instances, but I think made up for it, or could have made up for it, with a great jerk.
Yeah.
Very strong and a great jerk. But that's all water under the bridge at this point in time.
But what was it that you was, because you were telling me that Donny had an interesting opinion on actually what the Bulgarian system was.
Well, he did. I was saying that I try to use Bulgarian system when I can.
Yeah. But
because most of the people I train aren't people that you would look at and say, you were born to lift weights.
Yeah.
Like I look at Kevin and say, Kevin, you were born to lift weights. You were born to be a, he was born to be it, And I think that most people aren't that person. They have some glaring weakness.
Yeah.
That you have to solve through training. And Donny said, Bulgarian system is getting 5 lifters together in a room, in a gym, in a house. And they live together and train together, try to beat each other every freaking day.
Yeah.
And they're always trying to beat each other. That's the Bulgarian system.
Yeah.
Similar, not sets, it's not reps, it's not anything. You can do doubles, you can do singles, you can do fucking sets of 5 if you want.
Yeah.
But as long as you're all as long as you're all doing the same thing and all working your ass off to beat each other, it's Bulgarian.
Yeah.
And what do you think about that? I think that's probably the most accurate description of the Bulgarian system I can imagine.
Well, Glenn, you're making me feel very good here, because right when I started Weightlifting House, I started doing a blog. And one of my first blog posts, I made the title sound slightly provocative so that it would get clicks, but I called it Bulgarian is not about maxing out. And in it, I was talking about how, Abadjiev had started with, he even did like 10 sets of 10 at one point, right, of lots of different exercises. And I basically concluded that the Bulgarian system is about putting a bunch of guys in the same room, and right, they compete, and logically, one by one, you eliminate different exercises. And if you follow that kind of pattern to its logical conclusion, the Bulgarian system becomes competition, whereby all you do is max out, because that's what competition would lead itself to. But I was very stern in kind of saying the Bulgarian system is not about maxing out. It's about the competition. The maxing out is a byproduct of this competition.
That's very smart. That's very smart. But the one thing is, I will say that not only does it lead to gradually eliminating exercises, it also leads to gradually eliminating lifters.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Because not everyone can take that, mentally or physically. Start with 10 guys. Pretty soon you're going to have 9, then 8, then 5, then 4, then 1.
Yeah.
that one person that can take it the longest is going to win.
Yeah.
They can not quit, not get mentally burnt out, not get physically burnt out and hurt. He's going to win in the end.
I mean, I think we've routinely mentioned that the Bulgarian system is, unlike the Russian system where you get 100 athletes and you turn those 100 athletes into weightlifters. The Bulgarian system starts with 100 and it narrows it down and it finds the one out of the 100 that can bear to handle the volume.
Yeah.
I heard a really interesting quote. I'd love to pretend it was mine, but I think it was someone else. And he was saying that the Bulgarian system is a Weedle program. It wheedles out the best. So and the guy concluded and he said, so you're more than welcome to try the Bulgarian system. Just don't be upset when you get wheedled out like everyone else.
Chances are you're going to be one of the ones wheedled out. Yeah. I agree with that. And Donny said that. I was thinking, that sounds like something I wish I would have said.
Yeah.
But yet I didn't. So but that does totally tie into what I believe, Bulgarian system is great. And my adaptation of Bulgarian system is like a way to let more lifters succeed on it is to somehow change it here and there to allow 50% of the lifters to succeed on it, not 1%.
Yeah.
But yet when you do that, you're going to take some of the effectiveness away, but it's going to be less effective because you're going to have more good lifters or less good lifters. I don't know. It's something to ponder.
Yeah, for sure.
Something to ponder.
I mean, one of the things which is amazing that you've had in your life, and same with Donny, and I wish I'd have met the guy, but it's the fact that you actually met Abadjiev, the guy who orchestrated and created the Bulgarian system. And you'd mentioned before the podcast that he'd spoken to you and Donny about this. It was kind of it was a metaphor, basically, or an analogy to explain why you need to go to maximum and why it works. And it was quite interesting. I'm hoping that you're going to tell the listeners.
He mentioned that to me once. Okay. We'll talk at length about it. I've only met Abadjiev a couple of times, and it's not like I had long afternoons of discussing training with him.
Yeah.
Donny lived with him for a few months.
Yeah.
So he talked way more to Donny than me, and a lot of what I have knowledge I have of the Bulgarian system is secondhand listen to Donny.
Yeah.
Since I was an athlete training with Abadjiev, I think I probably got a lot of information from, but it's never the same secondhand.
Yeah.
But what Abadjiev said to Donny was that when a rabbit runs from a wolf, so the wolf scares up a rabbit and he runs for his life. He doesn't think I'm going to run half speed today, or I might run 75% speed. Next day I might run all out. No. He's running to survive.
Yeah.
He's running his ass off every single time the wolf scares him up.
Yeah.
He's running
because if he doesn't, he dies.
Yeah, if he doesn't, he dies, he gets eaten.
Yeah.
And so that's a Bulgarian system. When you are going to gym every day, like that rabbit, running for your life.
Yeah.
That's where the competition comes in, because you and 5 of the lifters are trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't do it with the knowledge that if you don't win in a few days or a few weeks or months, you're going to get cut.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to go home. You're going to go away with your life away from weightlifting.
Yeah. And I suppose you can almost push that even further and say that, they talk about how the Bulgarian system is only the same if you do it with Abadjiev and you do it with a group of people. But it's also only the same where, the Bulgarians were fighting for their life because they lived in a very poor country where they wouldn't have had jobs. This is a way for them to feed their wives and children. And it very much is like they were the rabbit. And I suppose Abadjiev was a wolf. And if they didn't go 100%, they would get cut, they would have no money, and people who they loved might, not be able to survive because of it. So if you're not in that situation, you can't even, it's almost like you can't understand or appreciate the level of competition that there would have been in that gym.
And what's more is that I'm trying to remember this guy's name, and he's one of my lifters I admire more than any. Who was the Bulgarian lifter that actually beat a 2-kilo Russian, got the 82-kilo Russian.
Well, oh Jesus, Vardanian, the 82.
Yeah. He was at snatch 185, at around the same body weight category as Vardanian was. No.
It'll come to me. Yeah.
Like a great snatcher in the history, it seems like. He's a great snatcher.
Mm-hmm.
But he was recruited for weightlifting. He was like a stone layer.
Right.
When he was a child, he worked putting bricks, like a brick mason.
Huge hands.
Bricks.
Yeah.
Carrying these rocks, whatever. But it had a very physical job as a child.
Mm.
And Abadjiev found him.
Was it Zlatev?
Say that again?
Asen Zlatev?
No.
Because he was the same body weight at similar time.
Wasn't him.
Oh, okay.
But Abadjiev found him because he kept getting stories of this kid who was like 12, was so freaking strong, it was unreal.
Yeah.
12-year-old was just super strong, very muscular.
Yeah.
So we found him and saw him and said, "You'd be a good weightlifter. Let's go lift weights."
Yeah.
And he ended up being a fantastic lifter. Probably one of the best snatchers ever in history. But the one other thing we don't have is we're not actually worked in physical labor from a young age. We don't ever develop that. You know, a lot of our genetic gifts are never realized because we don't do the work that would make them be realized.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you just don't ever do that. We develop differently. We have genetic gifts that never get discovered because we don't ever undergo things that force them to be discovered.
Yeah.
It's just a whole different world. It's a different world.
I'm just looking at a list of Bulgarians from the era, and I'm thinking it could be one of these two. It could be Stoichkov.
No.
Could it be?
Say the name and I'll know it.
Shakarov.
Nope. But if you say the name, I'll know it.
Probably was Varbanov, wasn't it?
Nope.
Oh, damn it.
Nope. Snatched 195.
Oh, he snatched 195. Oh, it would have been Blagoev.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, best snatch of all time.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I said.
By Sinclair, yeah.
It was fantastic.
I mean, just can we take
a moment? If you look at him, he's different than a lot of Bulgarian lifters.
Yeah.
He's very muscular.
Yeah, he is.
Short, muscular, strong, but he was that way as a child. That's how he got recruited because he was so fucking strong.
Yeah.
Got picked for being muscular and strong as a child.
Yeah. If you
Superman.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch Blagoev snatch his 195, I think that he has. You know how when you look at the bar path, the bar goes up and then the bar drops a certain amount. I think he has the least amount of drop of any lifter I've ever seen. Like his speed, he meets the bar at the absolute peak. The bar doesn't descend almost at all when he snatches. It's just phenomenal. I mean, 195 weighing 90 kilos is, like, by modern standards, is just impossible to even fathom with any modern lifter.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I feel like Caleb Ward snatched like that because I've often said I used to video Caleb Ward and watch the video where only one end of the bar was videoed.
Uh-huh.
You couldn't discern any bar drop.
Yeah.
The bar looked like it was only going up. It never dropped, never so down or dropped. It go up, slight decrease acceleration, and on up as you stood up with it.
Yeah.
You saw it drop. That's fantastic.
That's what you want, yeah.
It was snatching way less weight for your body weight, but yet it kind of reminds me of Blagoev and how he lifted.
Yeah.
How the bar.
Yeah. So, I mean, just sort of continuing on your phone call with Donny, how is Donny? What's he? I mean, I know he's still coaching. Did you talk about his is he training at all, or like what's going on with him?
Yeah, he just got an operation on his hip.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the things he was limited by when I coached him was he had a hip that hurt all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't squat effectively for a large part of his career because the hip hurt.
Isn't that why he went out wide in his stance for a while?
Yeah, he got his hip shaved, got the bone stir taken out of his hip.
Oh, God. So what, does he have like rheumatoid arthritis in his hip? Is that why he's got bone spurs or something?
No. He had a bone spur.
Oh.
He got the bone spur shaved off.
Wow.
He said he can squat pain-free now. And so, who knows?
Yeah.
That's good for Donny.
Yeah, I mean, knowing his mindset, that might mean that he probably thinks he's probably got a chance now that he can squat, and he's going to try and...
Probably does. You know, and I think one of the things that me and Donny talk about, but I could talk to Donny about this all day because we have the exact same feeling about this stuff, is that most lifters today are not tough.
Yeah.
They're playing at it. And that's what he said was about lifters he coaches. It's hard to find somebody that's not playing.
Playing the sport of weightlifting.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're not serious.
It's like you play football and you play basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not serious about it.
Mm.
And if I could say one thing about Donny, probably why I like Donny so much is that he was serious. I was serious as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't playing. I wanted to win.
Yeah.
I wanted to win. I wanted to make champions.
Yeah.
I didn't make enough of them, but I wanted to. I did everything I could to. It dominated my life, my whole life.
Yeah.
Up until now,
Yeah.
I've tried to continue that, and sometimes I get frustrated, just like Donny does.
Yeah.
And Donny said, it's frustrating when everybody you're coaching is just playing.
Yeah.
And
you just want someone to take it as seriously as you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Donny's frustrated with that the same as I am.
Yeah.
Weightlifting has gotten so much better over the last 10 years. More talent, more reward in the sport.
Mm.
You can actually make some money in the sport now.
Yeah.
But still, having more people in the sport hasn't made people serious.
Mm.
A few people, but in general, many weightlifters still are just playing.
Right.
It's hard for me to coach someone who's just playing.
Mm.
Because I get into a situation where I want it worse than they do.
Yeah, and that's difficult.
That's been my biggest downfall as a coach my whole career.
Yeah.
Continually get lifters who I want it more than they do.
Yeah.
I want them to win so bad, I'd sacrifice anything for them to win.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do, but they don't want it as bad.
Yeah.
They're in essence just playing.
Yeah.
They don't love it. They love it, but they don't need it.
Yeah.
They don't feel like they're going to die if they don't make that weight.
Yeah.
Or if they don't make nationals or whatever you want to say. They don't make that improvement.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the end of life.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was competing, that's how I looked at it. If I didn't clean and jerk 200, I was going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how I thought. That's how I thought.
Yeah.
And I've kind of never really. Sometimes things just are accepted by you, but you don't really think about it. But I think about that. I think that's really why Donny and I always got along when I didn't get along with anybody.
Yeah.
And we always got along is because I was serious as a lifter and a coach.
Yeah.
So different being a coach, but yet I still was 100% serious. To me, it was life and death.
Mm.
And Donny was one of the only lifters that really was serious.
He got it. He got it just like you did.
Yeah, he did. Totally got it.
Yeah.
I still consider Donny one of my best friends. And I still is. I'd love to find another Donny.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll never see another Donny, but I'd love to find another person that takes that seriously.
Yeah.
That really says, this is what I want to do. I'm going to sacrifice anything,
give
up anything to make this happen. And is willing to stick to that for however long it takes.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people that say, I'd give up anything. A month later, they're gone.
Yeah, I mean, Donny did give up a lot.
Yeah.
Like a huge amount he sacrificed to be able to train with you wherever you went and various other things along with it. But
right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting actually that those two kind of mindsets lend themselves towards the Bulgarian system. I remember hearing Pat Mendes talking about, because he's obviously did a lot of the Bulgarian training, and he said someone asked him a question about squatting and how to get big squat, and he said he was talking about how it's life and death, and he said, imagine that you're locked in a prison cell and you're given a bar and weights and everything, and you're told that your family are going to die in 1 year unless you add 60 kilos to your squat. Right. Are you going to squat twice a week, or are you going to squat to max every day, several times a day? And he said, that's just how I think about it. It's like, it's possible. It's possible. Like, I have to do it. There is no other option. I can't try. I just have to succeed. And that's kind of why he came to the conclusion, I suppose with influence from bros as well, that the Bulgarian system and just maxing out, for him at least, was the only way he could almost justify wanting it that much. It was the only program that would allow him to train and work as hard as mentally he wanted it.
Right.
Yeah.
not too many people like that around. There's just not.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a different sort of person, a different sort of world we live in and now that doesn't really what's the right word for it? Doesn't really have that sort of value attached to a sport like weightlifting.
I suppose now that life and just everything has gotten so much easier, there is less. I'm trying to think. There's a word that I want, but there's less. I guess there's less reason. I think the word will come to me at some point. But it's like people. Yeah.
Life's too easy.
Yeah.
Now, the one other quote I got off that website, the nameless website I was talking about before, is that one of the quotes that was up there was, "Today's lifters don't have enough gristle in their diet." Now, I don't think that's literal.
No.
Maybe so, but I don't think so. I don't know that having gristle in your diet, really nutritionally, is 100% important. But the idea behind it is, when your life is easy, you're eating the tenderloin, not the organ meat. You know, you're eating what tastes best, most tasty, tender part of the animal.
Yeah.
If you're poor, starving, you're eating the crap. You know, you're eating the stuff that you have to eat.
Yeah.
You're eating the organ meat. You know, you're eating the leftover parts of the animal. Doesn't matter that it doesn't taste good. You're going to eat it anyways.
Yeah.
You need it in the nutrition. It's a life and death situation.
Yeah.
You don't worry about the fact that a heart is very chewy. You know, if you eat a man's heart, it's chewy. It's not tender. I've heard people say it's good, but I don't think it's that good.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of gristle.
Yeah.
It's not really like a tenderloin.
No.
Well, you eat it because you have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't eat it because I have to, because I don't, I'm not in that situation.
Yeah.
But I have eaten a couple of venison hearts before.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not something I eat
out of
again
choice.
and again, without having to. But I always try to eat the liver and heart out of a animal if I shoot it, I guess.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to waste. But it's not something I have to do. Because if I'm living in the USA, I don't have to eat crappy things.
Yeah.
But I think having to do what you have to do to live and survive, breeds a different mindset about everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you just know that if there was, you've got a nice ribeye, and if there was a type of food that was gave you almost the same benefits, but a little bit more, just a tiny bit more for training, but it looked like and tasted like and had the consistency of cardboard, you know that Donny would be eating the cardboard.
Yeah.
Because there's no choice. It's like he's not going to take the nicer, very slightly less effective option of the steak when he could eat the cardboard that will give him everything. It's just more difficult.
100%.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Health IQ, the life insurance agency which specializes in securing lower rates for active people. So essentially what these guys do, or more so what these guys believe in, is that more active, healthy people deserve lower health insurance. I guess it's kind of like good drivers getting a low car insurance than bad drivers. So I did a little bit of research. I went back to my sports science days and pulled up some research that backs all of this up. So I'm going to read some of it out because it's actually pretty fascinating, and perhaps we don't give ourselves enough credit for the training that we do. So in 2016, it was found that adults who strength train at least twice a week, which I'm sure all of us do, we train 7 times a week, I'd imagine, have a 46% reduction in all-cause mortality compared to those who don't. So we're essentially 46% less likely to die by any means, which is pretty damn cool. 56% of Health IQ customers save between 4 and 33% on their life insurance. So if you want to get a free quote on how low your health insurance could be, and bear in mind this only works for my American brothers and sisters, apologies Europe and other countries, then head over to healthiq.com/weightliftinghouse for your free quote.
Kind of funny, I made a bolognese sauce yesterday.
I saw that, yeah, that looked nice.
And I made it out of venison. And venison is so lean that
Yeah.
you have to add a whole bunch of olive oil to it to even make bolognese.
Yeah, just to make it a little bit fattier.
So lean, it just tastes like terrible.
Yeah.
It's hard to cook. It just burns. It doesn't cook. It
Yeah,
doesn't get burnt.
yeah.
It just burns or doesn't cook at all. So I put like half a cup of venison in this bolognese sauce, or sorry, half a cup of olive oil in this bolognese sauce just to make it cook normally. Ground up venison. And I got like 75 pounds of ground up venison. Then, of course, this is not neither here nor there, but when I shoot a deer, I'm going to use it all. I just don't want to waste it.
Yeah, of course.
Like I'm morally wrong, to shoot something and yet just waste it. So I'm going to eat the liver, eat the heart, grind into hamburger, everything I don't want, and then eat the hamburger. I got 75 pounds of venison hamburger right now, so I start eating it. And so I'm making bolognese sauce out of venison.
Yeah.
I discovered that if you make the bolognese sauce very similar to what Peter Maxwell, from the guy Ed's dad. I did mostly his recipe, except for I put olive oil in it, and it was fantastic. Fantastic. I didn't put the carrots in it, and I should have. Next time I'm going to put carrots and celery in it, like he did. But it was super good.
Yeah.
Lots of pepper, even some red pepper, lots of black pepper. It was so freaking good.
Yeah.
So much better than just using canned tomato sauce or canned spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. There was a quote that I saw in your well, I don't know whose profile I saw on first. I think you posted it originally, then Donny reposted it. And it said, "There is no way to get around the discomfort of training."
Right.
This is it. Sorry, I've got it here. "There is no way to get around the discomfort of the training process. Training hurts. Effective training hurts even worse."
Right.
I love that.
Yeah, that was my quote. I think Donny posted it.
Yeah.
We talked about that when we talked on the phone.
Yeah.
That's 100% true. If training doesn't hurt, it's not doing anything. And it's going to hurt. It's going to just accept that.
Yeah.
Accept that. You just have to. You can't be worried about how it hurts. It doesn't matter. If you really want to win, it doesn't matter how much it hurts. It doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things. Who cares about an hour of discomfort? Who cares about 6 hours of discomfort? Who cares about days of discomfort? If you're going to win bad enough, it's not going to be a thing.
No.
It doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to, if I may, I've just got your Instagram up. I'm going to read out one more that I thought was pretty nice. If I can find it. I think maybe someone reposted this one as well. I saw this one a bunch. It said, maxing out, and I think this as well, this one will lead us into the next topic quite nicely. Maxing out is a legitimate part of the training process. Actually making a new snatch or clean and jerk PR is the best possible training for making a new snatch or clean and jerk PR. Right. And I love that. I think it's great.
Yeah. The reason I put that up, I had another one that kind of indicated that, well, so many of my lifters that I'm coaching right now, I'm going to turn it up with you.
Yeah.
Write me emails. They're basically saying that they're worried because the second rep of the double is not perfect. They're worried about getting hurt. They're worried about doing something wrong. If they don't do it perfectly, they'll develop bad motor patterns. That's correct. But yet, think about it. If you don't ever have your form breakdown, how the hell do you ever get stronger? I mean, you're not going to. If you never train hard enough that your form breaks down, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I mean, we've spoken about that before. I think the issue that people have is they don't know how close to get to the point where your form breaks down to call it quits. So some people want to go within a rep of it and then leave it, but I suppose I've not really expressed this before, I don't think, and I'm kind of realizing this as I speak, but I suppose the safest way to ensure that you've trained to the right point is to surpass the line.
Right.
And then you may have done a little bit of damage past it where maybe your form wasn't quite right, but at the very least you've done everything that you needed. There's no chance that you have shortcutted it at all. You've definitely at least done everything you needed.
Well, and Seb, we've talked about this before in a slightly different way.
Mm.
You want roughly 80 or 90% of your reps to be good. But if every 100% of your reps are all great, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You can't have effective training where every single lift you do is perfect. Just won't happen.
Yeah.
If 100% of your lifts are perfect, add weight.
Mm. Yeah.
In my opinion, I've changed my opinion on this over the years. I think at one point in time I said if 70% were good, 30% were bad, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Now I'd say more if 80% or 90% are good, 10% to 15% are bad, that's perfect.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Some line in there. There's some line in there.
Yeah.
But if 100% are perfect, it's always perfect. That's not effective training. No. You have to go here. You have to wait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you are right. I think there was something that you wanted to talk about with maxing out as well. I'm trying to think exactly what it was. Kind of along the lines of how to utilize it as a training tool, I suppose, or how to make it more useful, knowing how often you should do it and that kind of stuff. Kind of, what are your thoughts on using it as a training tool? I mean, I know that you're vocal about.
Well, that's something that we've talked about before. I mean, I think that roughly 80% of your workouts, you should go in and just do the work.
Yeah.
Nobody can go in and have that great workout where they surpass their limits and train to failure and just really, really go after it, emotionally getting drained during the workout. I don't think anyone can do that every day.
Yeah.
At least you can't do that unless you're in a group of 5 people that are all doing that. That requires support, emotional support from other people.
Yeah.
So if you're an average lifter, train by yourself in a gym somewhere, and have to train by yourself, you can't go balls to the wall every single session. You can't do it emotionally.
Mm.
Mentally, you just can't do that. But for your average guy who's in a gym by themselves with a bunch of yahoos that aren't really training hard, which is more the normal course of events.
Yeah.
You can't push yourself to go balls to the wall every single training session. So, if you do 80% of the training sessions where you do the work, just put the reps in, and then 20% of the time, you go balls out.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's about right.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you're just going to do the snatches. So you're doing 8% for doubles. So you just do your doubles, 5 doubles or whatever, and quit. Do your pulls, go home.
Yeah, I mean, you actually mentioned that on our Facebook page with the online team, where you said about how the volume has dropped a little bit and we're lifting heavier weight now.
Right.
But you reminded everyone that the goal is that by the end of the program you hit a PR on this right. date. But if you can hit it at another time, and you really believe that you can do it, because that is the best training, because you just PR'd. There is no better training than that.
No, there's not.
Just reminding people that they don't have to rigidly stick to it.
People generally, most easily, have higher maxes in training than they do in competition. Because, think about it, on your snatch, for instance, because I just narrow it down to snatch.
Mm-hmm.
You have 50 workouts between this meet and next meet where you have the chance to PR your snatch.
Yeah.
Then the day of the meet, you have one chance.
Yeah.
What's the likelihood is that one of these 50 workouts between now and your next meet, you're going to have an unbelievable day for no real reason that you know of.
Yeah.
Just the moon was right, full moon at the right time.
Yeah.
Your biorhythms were right, who knows. But you woke up that morning feeling fantastic.
Yeah.
Or you just looked at a bar, felt light, looked at 80% of your max, thought, Jesus feels real light. I feel strong today. Max. You have 10 chances, 20 chances, 100 chances to do that.
Yeah.
But only one chance to do it in competition. So it's the reason that a lot of people would have a better PR in training than competition, because you only have one chance in competition.
Yeah.
You have many million chances in training.
Yeah.
And so I always think that roughly 80% of the time, so that 80-20 rule, that I've talked about before.
Yeah.
80% of the time, you're not going to PR. You're just not mentally ready for it that day, physically ready for it that day, whatever. Tired, didn't sleep last night. Your girlfriend was being a bitch the night before. Who knows? Who knows? But you're not really ready to max that day. You're not really going on all, firing on all cylinders that day. Who knows? But then, when you do fire on all cylinders, go for a PR.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen once in a while. Do it when you're ready. Do it.
Yeah. I mean, how depressing would it be? I mean, I've done plenty of programs where you're set up to do a PR on the final day, and I've not been able to hit it, and who knows why? Maybe it was, like you say, biorhythms, or I didn't sleep well, or some random thing. But how depressing would it be to think that there were 60 days of this cycle, and there was certainly going to be, in those 60 days, one of those days you were more than certainly capable of PRing, but you didn't. And you left it to the end, and you weren't able to make it on that one day. But out of those 60 days, there were maybe 5 days where actually you could have hit a PR, but you didn't try.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think if you keep the 80-20 rule, where you don't want to try your max every day.
No.
Miss 6 attempts trying your max.
Yeah.
No, be reasonable. Use some common sense.
Yeah.
Most days, I know anyways, when I was a lifter, I know that a lot of days you go to the gym, the first warm-up doesn't feel that great. You kind of know, I'm not going to PR this day, but I can still do the work.
Yeah.
I can still do the work.
Yeah.
I can do my 85% for 5 doubles or 90% for 10 singles or whatever.
Yeah.
But if I do that, I'm not going to make a max.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be able to make a max.
Yeah.
So just do the work. Do your pull, your squats, do the work. And then when you're ready on the day that everything's firing, you'll be ready.
Yeah. I feel very happy because yesterday I did for the first time what you said, where I went to a meet, I coached a bunch of lifters, then I competed, and then when the final guy was still doing his clean and jerks, because the guy who won did like a 175, I think. Whilst he was doing his clean and jerks, I loaded up a squat rack and I did the rest of the Pendlay WOD program. And I hit my squats, and I felt so pleased with the fact that I'd done like almost the best day of training you can do, where you go to a competition, you lift, and then you do your strength work as well. And I felt very pleased with that.
If people want to talk about what made Cal Strength so goddamn good, that's what made it good. Because we used to do that all the time. That was normal. Because we were living in California, Northern California, where there's a meet almost every other weekend.
Yeah.
Somewhere within driving distance. Whether it's in Lake Tahoe, the Bay Area, wherever, within an hour or two of driving, there was a meet almost every other weekend. And that was kind of normal for us to go in on Saturday or take Friday training where you usually max out, kind of light.
Mm-hmm.
Do something, but you're not maxing out.
Yeah.
Get up the next morning on Saturday, do the meet, go for max. Sometimes you make a new max, sometimes you won't. Go for max, best snatch, best clean and jerk. And then, while they're cleaning up the meet, go ahead and do your squats.
Yeah.
And that was, in a nutshell, what Cal Strength was.
Yeah.
That was what caused, I believe, the best training environment I've ever seen in the USA.
Yeah, I think a lot of listeners and a lot of people in the weightlifting world would agree, actually, with that statement that Cal Strength, the original Cal Strength, the glory days, that was the best atmosphere that anyone has ever seen in weightlifting. I mean, that got so many people into weightlifting. I mean, the first weightlifting video I ever saw was a Donny Shankle video, and then the second one was Razazadeh. But, I mean, I got into weightlifting watching those old Cal Strength videos because of the atmosphere.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny, but so many people, we talk about it. We talk about the fact that no one really wants it anymore. I talk about it anyways. I'm the prototypical old man that's always going on about high school. Every ex-high school football player talks to the glory days in high school.
Yeah.
So I'm just like that. I'm just talking about Cal Strength, how great it was back then. But it was great because we wanted it. We wanted to be good so bad.
Yeah.
Had a group of people that really, really wanted to be good so bad. We didn't just want it. We needed it.
You were desperate for it. You were clawing,
We thought we were going to die if we didn't make a PR.
Yeah.
That we were giving up so much that this wouldn't make sense if we weren't improving. So we just want it. We needed it. We had to have it.
Yeah.
You know? And that was our attitude. That was the attitude of everyone at Cal Strength.
Yeah.
That was why it was so good. And that's what you see when you see those old videos.
Mm.
You see those old videos and you see that we wanted it so bad. And that, I think, came out in the videos. Of course, you joked around. You know, of course, there was a lot of hilarity, you know.
Yeah.
And there was. Because you know what? You know why? It's because when you and a group of other people, like-minded people, are in a situation where the stress level is so high
Yeah.
that you're all just killing each other. Just killing each other to be better.
Mm-hmm.
The only way you can survive is to be lighthearted about things.
Yeah.
The only way you can survive.
Yeah.
You know, you have to cut up a little here and there.
Mm.
You have to laugh.
Yeah.
You have to make jokes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just can't survive. So we made it fun out of necessity. Out of necessity.
Yeah.
And I think that comes through when you watch the old videos.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's another environment like that or has ever been like that in the U.S. I don't think.
Mm.
So, maybe so. But I don't see it.
No, I don't.
The best environment. And it was because we all were of like-minded people, especially me and Donny and John, you know?
Yeah.
I gripe about John all the time. But to be sure, John, in the early years, was the same.
Yeah.
He wanted it so bad. And he fit in with me and Donny, you know? He fit in with me and Donny. And that was just something that, like I said, comes through in many ways, and it's hard to reproduce.
Yeah.
Very hard to reproduce.
Yeah. I think, but essentially trying to recreate something like Cal Strength is almost like, it's almost like my entire life goal. At least at this point in my life, that's what I'm striving to one day be able to do, is have that and have that as my own, and replicate that desperate desire shared amongst people who are, it's not just myself, because it's hard to find people similar in that respect.
Right.
Who will recreate something like that. And I mean, that's what I want to do.
You know what? If somebody's going to do that, it could be you. You know, I mean, you're probably the person to be able to do that. I mean,
that's kind.
You know,
yeah,
it's going to be a very, very unique person that could end up realizing that dream.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's possible. I think as well. I just talking about all this atmosphere and recreating what you had at Cal Strength. I noticed on your Facebook that you mentioned yesterday about finalizing dates for the next camp. I guess we could take maybe 30 seconds out of this podcast to mention it. You want to do another camp? I'm guessing it's kind of early summer. Have you sorted that at all?
Sometime in May.
Okay.
And so I haven't really finalized the dates, but yeah, the thing is the one person I really, really, really want to be there is Sal.
Yeah.
Because Sal's a freak.
And he's never been to the camp.
No. He's a fantastic lifter.
I saw him hit 140, 170 yesterday.
Right.
Yeah. Easy.
I mean, he's going to snatch 50 plus and clear
at the camp, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's going to. Sal doesn't actually know what he can do.
Yeah.
I'll just put it right there. He doesn't actually know what he can do.
And that's actually such a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone quite knows what Sal can do. Because he's so friggin' strong. And he has a good mental attitude.
Yeah.
He's a good place in his life. He can do it, I think.
Yeah.
So when you're like pushing 50, as a coach, your life is kind of reduced to finding lifters that you actually think can go the distance.
Yeah.
You know, finding out of all these people that I know, and I know everyone in weightlifting, I think it seems like.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like. Of all these thousands of people that talk to me, email me, Instagram me, whatever, find that one person like Sal.
Yeah.
Who actually has talent and the mindset to do big things.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sal might be that person. Who knows? We won't know till he does it.
Yeah.
But I think he has the talent. And I think he has the ability to maybe do the type of things that like Donny did, or John did, or Kevin did,
Yeah.
But if I had to talk about another lifter, I talked considerably about how I think Kevin was the most under-realized potential of anybody that I coached really. I think he would really had the potential to be fantastic.
Yeah.
But things stood in the way.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sal's kind of like that. He's very strong. He's
very strong.
He has all the tools.
Yeah.
All the things that God could have given him to make him a great lifter, he has.
Yeah, it's funny that you. It's funny because we've just been talking about how obsessed you are with your entire life of finding these people and devoting everything to transforming them into the best weightlifters they can be. And you can kind of see it here where you put up preliminary dates for this camp. And I'm sure you might get 10 lifters like myself who will say we can do it on this time. But if you get Sal and maybe one other who is a 150, 180 kind of guy saying that we can't do it then, but we can do the week after, because you are so focused, you're so driven on finding these people, you're probably likely to just shift the camp to them. Just to that time.
I already have.
Yeah.
I've already tried several dates.
Yeah.
Had Sal say I can't do it that day, that week. And so I've already done that, but now I've got to find a date that will work for Sal and will work for Brandon.
Yeah.
And will work for Nicole.
And some of one of the Dobbs brothers.
Yeah, another one's fantastic, Nicole.
Yeah.
She's a freak.
Well, she's in the same situation where she...
Sure if Nicole is actually quite as crazy about lifting as I am. I think she's not as crazy as I am. But who knows? Things can grow inside of people.
Yeah, she's not as crazy, but she's in a similar position to Sal where she doesn't really know, and no one really knows what she's capable of.
No.
Yeah,
and Kathy, she's kind of seeming like she could go down that road.
Yeah, I think she's amazing.
Yeah, she is. She is.
She could do very, very well.
She could. She certainly could. A little earlier in the process with her than it is with Nicole.
Yeah.
A little behind Nicole, but that's because she hasn't been lifting as long.
Yeah.
She's not as strong as Nicole, but she's fantastic. And I think she might be one that wants it, really wants it.
I think she'll clean and jerk 100 at the next camp.
Probably.
Yeah.
Wouldn't doubt it.
No. Yeah.
Wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, she's good. She's good. She's very good.
Yeah.
And she's got the little intangibles, little intangibles that you can't coach.
Yeah.
There are some things about weightlifting that a good coach can say, do it this way, and they're going to fix it.
Yeah.
But Kathy's got certain things you just can't coach. You just can't coach some things. They either have it or don't. And she has some of those things.
Yeah.
And so I think if nothing really stands in her way, she could end up being the one. But who else? Who else could be the one that's not? I'm going to make you mad by saying this, but Chris Dobbs.
That's not going to make me mad at all. I've never even met Chris Dobbs.
Oh, I said that's going to make him mad.
Oh, make him? Oh, I thought you said it's going to make me mad. Yeah, he could. He could.
No, Chris Dobbs.
I know who he is. I've never met him, but I know who he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's got all the talent in the world, but he's going to waste it.
You think? Yeah.
I think. At this point, I'm starting to think that. His brother, Logan, is a great person. Yeah. He's a nice guy. If I could take Logan and give him Chris's talent, you'd have a lifter. You'd have a lifter.
Yeah.
But Logan has a mindset. Chris has a talent.
Yeah.
He's just stupid talented.
Yeah.
And maybe, Chris, if you're listening to this, there's a lot of fire under you,
Yeah.
I mean, who knows, Stranger things have happened, or maybe he'll never talk to me again.
Yeah.
You'll say, screw that guy.
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't blame him if he did, but the fact is that he is very talented, very capable of doing some crazy things. But I'm not sure he's going to. I'm just not sure. And the fact is you got to find a person that's going to do it.
Yeah. And it's almost like the person. It's almost like you don't need to worry about discouraging someone because the person who's going to achieve
will not be
realize
discouraged.
it will not be discouraged.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny. One of my favorite films of all time is a film called Whiplash. I don't know if you've seen it.
I don't think I have.
It's came out only a few years ago, but it's basically about a drummer who is incredibly obsessed with becoming the best drummer in the world, and you can just so easily turn it into weightlifting. It's so easy just to see it. It's the mindset is the same, and I guess you could call it coach, his conductor, is very discouraging to his musicians, and a lot of them quit, and eventually they get annoyed and they say to him, why are you doing this? You're making people quit. What if you make the best musician ever quit? And he says that's the whole point, is that if he wants to find a Buddy Rich again, that person will not be discouraged.
Right.
He'll find that person by being discouraging because that person will see it through, and by not being like that, he's gonna deprive the world of such an amazing talent. And that's kind of how it is. I guess that's what you're doing to Chris right now. You're calling him out, and if he gets discouraged,
I certainly like Chris. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he seems.
You couldn't
cool.
ask for a nicer guy.
Yeah,
and that's kind of why it's like people like, and I've had lifters. I'm not really talking about Kevin or John, but I've had people like them that I get onto about being like Kevin or John that really don't quite have the single-mindedness of purpose that Donny Shankle has.
Yeah.
And so they get discouraged. They get not discouraged. That's the wrong word.
Disheartened?
They get sidetracked.
Oh, right. Okay.
They get sidetracked.
Yeah.
And I think you're right about that. The person is that one person will not get sidetracked.
Yeah.
And so if you're Chris Dobbs out there, listen to me. Please don't be discouraged. Just don't get sidetracked.
Yeah.
You got an insane amount of talent, but to realize that talent, you have to keep going. You can't let anything stand in your way.
You have to go tunnel vision.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing. When you've got the talent like he does, it's almost like I sit here just as an absolute lover of weightlifting, thinking to myself, if I had that talent, and it doesn't stop me. Like, I'm still going to train, but I almost think for him, it's like you might as well just do it for 5 years and give it absolutely everything. And it might not work, but
yeah.
But it might. And just knowing that it might work is just such a fascinating and magical thing that's possible for him. And it might not be, but it might be. And just that slither of chance is enough. You'd hope is enough. I think Chris could. I watch his videos. I've never seen him train or anything like in person, but watching his videos, you are right. He could do it. And I think James Moses has been getting at him because I know James is a very hard worker. And I saw Chris Dobbs posted a video where he cleaned 184, and James said, "Why are you cleaning 184 again?" Because he's done it so many times. I think James has kind of seen that in him as well. Like, Chris has so much potential. Stop doing the thing you've done before. Like, it's time to clean 190.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I told him that multiple times, got on to him about it, and then he kind of stopped emailing me. And so, I think he got tired of hearing it.
Yeah, we'll get him to the camp, and he's going to snatch 160 at the camp because he did 155 with you.
He did.
So it's time to get 160 and snatch.
That was the most depressing 155 I've ever seen. It literally depressed me.
Why?
Because, when somebody pulls a bar, it's not really the speed they pull it, it's acceleration off the floor.
Uh-huh.
Just acceleration, just crazy. The bar just looked light.
Yeah.
Like, how was that possible with 155?
Yeah.
I could have sworn he could have taken 180 for his next snatch and made it. Seriously, I'm not laughing about that. I'm serious.
Okay, I think you are serious here.
Yeah, but to me, to see Chris do that,
yeah,
and then not have the reaction I would have had, or that James Moser would have had, and said, "Put 180 on the fucking bar."
Yeah.
Put A2 on the bar.
Yeah. Put it on right now.
but instead go, oh, that felt heavy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure I can do that again. That's the difference.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, I hope to God Dobbs says, I can do 82 and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
He gets pissed off at me for saying couldn't.
Yeah.
Or something, you know?
Yeah.
God, that happens. But, you know, I don't know. We'll see.
Whether he likes you for it or not, hopefully this gives him some reaction.
He hates me forever, but Spurgeon on decides 180.
To prove you wrong. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Exactly. That could be a powerful motivator.
Oh, for sure.
Step Glenn up, you know?
I often think that proving people wrong is one of the biggest motivators for anything. You know, being told you can't do it and then wanting to prove them wrong and show them that you can, that creates so
and
much.
You know, it's funny, but I've seen a little hints of that because I got on him a lot last time I was here.
Yeah.
Kind of made fun of him for not making that lift.
Yeah.
And he went home, drove all the way down to somewhere in like Houston. And like drove 12 hours, got out of his truck. Really been pissed off and thinking about it the whole time.
And then just snatched
out of his truck and snatched 155. You know, made it.
Yeah.
And so he's got that in him, just to do something to shut people up.
Uh-huh.
So who knows? Maybe he will. Maybe he will.
I certainly hope so.
Surely there was something else we're going to talk about besides this.
Well, you know what? There's like 2 whole topics that we haven't even touched on. But because we've got like an hour podcast, I wonder if maybe you want to save it. Otherwise, we're going to go on for another hour. And I, as I'm sure you do, have multitudes of programming to do because it's a Sunday. So do you want to save those topics and get another hour-long podcast out of them next time?
I suppose we could if you can remember the topics.
I've got them written down, yeah.
Okay, good.
I've got them written down. You know, an idea that I had that I was going to do, I literally thought about this yesterday, and so I'm going to mention it now on the podcast, because I think it's a good way to commit myself to doing it, because now that it's out in the open, I kind of have to do it. Here's what it is. I've decided that I'm going to go through the top 60 Sinclairs of all time. Every day, I'm going to do one, number 60, the number 59, and take it down to number 1, and I'm going to start it in like 2 weeks. And I'm just going to try and educate the masses about all of the best lifters of all time, from 1970 to now, about all the top lifters, because so many of these lifters are completely lost in the history books. And I know all of the Sinclairs and numbers because I've got it all on a spreadsheet. So I'm going to do that, and I think I'm going to do it on Snapchat. So for people who want to find out about the best lifters of all time, where they were from, what they hit, and how much better they are than the lifters that you watch now, then follow the Snapchat for that, WL_house, because I think that's going to be pretty cool. It's the kind of thing that's never been done in weightlifting, I don't think. So
when you threatened me with getting me on Snapchat before, that's never happened.
It hasn't, no.
No, I'm not sure if I'm cut out for Snapchat.
No, I'm not sure that you are, to be honest, Glenn.
You're probably okay. You're probably right about that.
You know what's interesting is I hear people always talk about how amazing Haile Mutlu is. I know this is going completely off topic.
Right.
Haile Mutlu, the Turkish weightlifter, and he was, of course, he was an extraordinary lifter, but he's actually not, like, so many people I've spoken to believe that he's like a top 10 lifter of all time.
No.
And for a small guy, normally that helps in terms of Sinclair, and he is top 100, but he's not even top 50 of all time in Sinclair. Right. I just had to get that off my chest. I've just heard so many people talking about Haile Mutlu as though he's on the same level as Naeem. I just have to let the people know that he's not there.
I don't think there's really anyone on Naeem's level, you know.
No. Well, he's the only one with a plus 500 Sinclair. No one else comes close. No one else is within 10 points of him.
That's just stupid.
Yeah.
It's just retarded.
Yeah, that makes no sense. One final thing, actually, Glenn, just I would love to get your thoughts on this, is yesterday, Harrison Maris, weighing 81 kilos, only 17 years of age, clean and jerked in competition 200 kilos.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So he's now, he bumped up, oh gosh, what's his name? The 77 kilo, went to the Olympics twice.
Kaplan?
No, oh gosh. I mean, Chapman's got Chad Vaughan. He bumped up Chad Vaughan's 77 record by 5 kilos. Now he's moved up to the 85s, but he only weighs 81, and he's already only 3 kilos away from Kendrick.
Yeah.
I think he's extraordinary. I think he is the guy
He is.
going into the next quad. I mean, I don't see even CJ. I feel has been kind of wiped away by Harrison's achievements at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that did he start in CrossFit? I don't think so.
no, he did. I think he did gymnastics when he was very young, and then he said he did like 2 years of powerlifting. He broke like the junior American record. He squatted 200 when he was 13, and he weighed like 50 kilos or something absurd, or 60 kilos. And
I think
made the switch.
I think even though he didn't come from CrossFit, I think that is kind of one of the things that weightlifting getting more popular, which I think is because of CrossFit.
I mean, I'm sure, yeah. Without CrossFit, he may well have not moved to
right,
because his coach was a CrossFitter, a CrossFit coach,
right,
and competed at the CrossFit Games. So yeah, without CrossFit, we would not have Harrison.
So yeah, without CrossFit, we don't even find people like that.
Yeah,
he would have stayed in powerlifting.
Yeah,
done very well.
Yeah,
he would probably done very, very well.
Yeah,
in powerlifting, set records and all that, but never would have kind of come to weightlifting.
No.
So I think that CrossFit has, even without people that didn't come from CrossFit like him, CrossFit has made weightlifting as a sport big enough to start attracting people that have that kind of talent.
Yeah.
I think it's just fantastic.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Freaking tastic.
Yeah. Now, before we go, do you want to sort of talk about your plates at all? I know that you said on the last podcast that they were basically ready. You were just waiting on the website. Is the website done, or is that still a long shot?
So wait on it. We can talk about the plates a little bit.
Yeah,
I have them. American Weightlifting plates. They are through customs. They're here. I've taken pictures of them. Have a couple sets here in McPherson. But I'm still waiting on one of these website companies that are professional website builders.
Yeah.
To finish the website.
They suck.
Yeah.
They're annoying. I mean, they're going to do a good job, but my word, they're annoying.
Well, you've seen the website, and it's not bad.
Yeah, it's good.
Looks good.
Yeah.
I've got my credit card processing set up last week. So everything is a go. I mean, everything's ready. Just have to get the website finalized, and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen this week. Pretty sure, because I am going to Arnold.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
And I have a booth at the Arnold. Taking like 5 sets of plates, a whole bunch of bars to the Arnold.
Yeah. You're going to have a few lifters maxing, I hear?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I think
Jordan said he was doing it.
Jordan, yes.
Yeah.
Jordan's a nice guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's cool.
Loudmouth.
Oh, yeah. He's like the modern-day John North. He'll probably love that. He'll love that compliment.
I see a lot of John North in him.
Yeah, he's listening right now. I know he is. He loves the show.
Right. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
He's one of the ones I really, 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 really hope comes to the next camp, but I think he will.
Oh, he will. Yeah, I'm sure he'll find a way.
He's a nice guy. Very nice guy. So he's going to come to the next camp. And we're going to have other people, obviously, there too, but a lot of people have been to past camps.
Mm-hmm.
And people that come to one camp tend to come to 2 or 3,
Yeah, yeah.
So, but hopefully everyone won't get sick on this camp.
No.
The last one. But Jordan is a nice guy. He's doing good, I think.
Yeah.
Squat PR.
Yeah, he tripled 220.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. He's not got the best set up to jerk. His jerks. I think that's one more thing he shares with John North. Just not cut out to jerk.
Yeah.
Bad lockout, I think, a little bit. Strong kid.
Yeah.
But the jerk's not really ideal. He'll probably overcome that, though. I mean, he'll probably overcome that.
I mean, do you know the good thing about Jordan, and this is what we were talking about before, is when you put someone down, some people take that as motivation. I feel almost certain that a couple days after this podcast airs, he's going to post a video on the Pendlay Wad group, and it will say something like, "Fuck you, Glenn."
Yep.
And then it will be a video of him PRing his jerk or getting a triple, or he's going to jerk 180. And I
hope so.
I'm almost certain that that's going to happen.
I hope so.
He has no trouble, he has no trouble taking the piss out of you or You know,
No, and he has something in him that lets him rise to a challenge. You know.
Oh yeah, he loves that.
Let's say you can't do that, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to do that, and he's not going to get intimidated. You know, he's gonna because he's really wanting to come to the Arnold and max out at the Arnold.
Yeah.
He's not lifting the Arnold, but I think he's just going to come to the booth and max out something at the booth, and you know, for whoever's in the expo center, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think he's looking forward to that a lot.
Oh, for sure.
You know, Joshua Gibson is going to be there at the expo.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that. That's going to be great.
He's a good lifter.
He moves amazingly. Yeah.
He's a good lifter.
Yeah. Also, I believe Dustin is going to be competing at the Arnold, and he moves. I mean, I thought out of everyone at the last camp,
Dustin's a weird guy. He's a weird guy because you don't look at him and say he's strong.
No.
You know, he's skinny, tall, but yet he's got a weird, wiry strength.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
What's that movie? I think it's called The Replacements.
Okay.
Keanu Reeves in it.
I don't know, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's a football movie, and it was a movie about like the football players went on strike, and his team hired replacements.
Yeah.
To play for the team during a strike, and all these guys are kind of not professional football players. All came from weird places, and you know, that were recruited to be football players while the real players are on strike.
Yeah, I've just looked it up. That is what it's called. Yeah.
And there's this one guy that was a soccer player.
Right.
He smoked. He drank. He was half drunk every practice. Like smoking a Camel.
I'm looking at a picture of him right now, and he looks like Dustin.
Yeah, skinny. Not like an athlete at all. Very skinny, no muscle, no anything. But yet he could kick the football, like make a field goal from like 80 yards. You know, something crazy. Yeah. Soccer player.
Yeah.
And when somebody on the football team said, "How do you kick the ball that far? You don't look strong." And he said, "I'm wiry."
Yeah.
I just always thought that was crazy funny.
Well, that's funny because when I was going up against Dustin and we were doing like power snatch, I think he got like 80 kilos and I power snatched 100, and I was just like, well, I've got him. Like, this is going to be easy. And then we maxed out and he snatched 120, and I was just like, how, like, holy shit, how are you going to power snatch 80 and then full snatch 120? And then he clean and jerked like 155 and got under 160, and like, it's just absurd strength.
Very wiry.
Yeah, makes no sense.
Yeah, but you don't look at him and say he's a great lifter, but he is a good lifter.
And he also has, I mean, he had the straightest pull of anyone at the camp.
Yeah,
I think Bo was maybe the most exciting to watch, but yeah, Dustin's got a lovely straight pull. Amazing.
Very straight pull, very good technique, very good lifter, very good lifter.
Yeah, very nice to watch.
And he's doing a lot of Instagram stuff for me now, and so he's kind of, I've always been in contact with him and everything, so I'm starting to like Dustin a lot.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Nice guy. Very nice guy.
Yeah. Right.
Kind of a little different, but as far as a lifter, you know, because he has a little different ideas about training and everything, but, you know, there's room for that.
Yeah,
there's room for that.
Of course. Yeah.
He's a super nice guy, and I'm, you know, I have a lot of contact with him now, and so I'm getting to like him more and more. More around him, more I like him.
He's a good guy. Yeah. Well, Glenn, I think this has been a terrific episode. We didn't talk about our initial conversation. Well, we wanted to talk about some other stuff, but we'll do that next time. But I love to talk about the Bulgarian system, about Abadjiev, Cal Strength, whenever we go into those kind of things. That's like my cup of tea. I love it. So,
awesome.
I thought this was a great one. Guys, thanks once again for tuning in. We will, of course, be back next Monday, and the news show will be out on Wednesday, as ever. Thanks once again for tuning in, and we will speak to you all next week.